all know a guy who only occasionally shaves for big occasions, and it's because that occasional shave really hurts. It's the time of year for big occasions, and yet there he is, suffering with that cheap drugstore razor. Let's help him out. Henson Shaving's line of razors, built with aerospace precision, deliver a smooth shave your dad, brother, and even son can enjoy, eventually. With replacement blades just 10 cents each, you'll buy it once and they'll use it for life. How's that for the perfect gift? Celebrate with 100 free blades on your first purchase and no subscription headaches. HensonShaving.com/holiday.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Now, the No Fruit Podcast.
Yeah, yeah.
Hello, everyone. This is Maurice.
And this is Kafa.
We thank you for tuning in today. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe.
I hope you enjoyed today's episode.
Yes, I hope that you do enjoy today's episode. Thank you very much for tuning in again. This is Maurice.
And this is Kafa.
We thank y'all for loving on us, supporting us, sharing with us. Your presence is greatly appreciated.
We feel your presence.
Most definitely.
It's kind of crowded in here because we have so many present.
Okay. So,
yes.
Is there something we need to talk about, Kaf?
Yeah.
I mean, is there so many people present, like physically, or people present just in your mind?
You said you feel their presence.
Yes.
And you're grateful for their presence.
Yes.
Yes. I'm just agreeing with you.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now that there's a couple presences that are not present in our life.
Not here.
Right.
But we still feel their presence.
I guess we do. You know, it has been a blessing and a curse of raising our children.
How so?
Okay, it's not necessarily a curse, but it's a blessing to see, you know, young people that you have given birth to. Kaf, you gave birth to them, right?
You were there. You helped.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, I think I talked about it in a previous show where the nurse was talking to Kafa about not being ready to give birth.
Mm-hmm.
And then as she was doing a checkup and she realized that Kafa was a lot closer than she had anticipated. And the funniest thing was to see this little nurse with these little legs running out the door, yelling for the da, 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 you know, whatever. And the next thing I know, I turn around and guess what? My baby is popping out. And he popped out right into my arm. So
Yes.
that was an experience that if other people have experienced, you know, I would love to hear what you have to say. And what was that experience for you, Dad or Mom or whoever was there. But that is an experience I would not like to have again.
It seems like just yesterday. It's been 19 years ago.
Yes.
This month.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But
But
it is so vivid in my brain. That is, I wish I could probably make a movie out of it.
okay.
Because it felt like it should have been a movie.
I mean, we were told, not by the second child, the first one, I was told that it was just a perfect delivery and they wish they would have filmed it.
Yeah, well, the second...
I think I pushed twice and then, you know.
I don't remember that. I just know that it was...
I don't think you were you...
I mean, I was awake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, so, again, another child story, I guess. we were going through our our classes and stuff, and every time they got to show the birth of a baby, I kept passing out on the video. I did. I'm gonna be honest with you. The blood, the baby, everything. It just, I kept passing out. I mean, I'll be honest with you, and I was really nervous that once Kava went into labor, I was sure I was going to be knocked out, to be honest. Now, here's what happened, though.
He was very, very, very concerned and was very present. So,
well, here's the reality.
mm-hmm.
She gets to the hospital. She's going through her process. We have to walk up and down the halls, right? You know, and then I forgot. I don't know if we had eaten or something like that, and then we sat down because now she's finally kind of calming down a little bit. So because I was so hyped and excited, my adrenaline was pumping and all that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to relax. I took a nap.
He fell asleep.
Well, next thing I know, I wake up and there's a whole lot of people in the room. A whole lot of people. So it's like, y'all was going to deliver this baby while I'm over here taking a nap. Like, that's how I felt, you know. So the reality is you know, the daughter, you know, she had come out, but because of my concern, like Kafa said, I was very present. So can you imagine, you know, looking at the doctors over here with her being Kafa, and then the nurses and everybody over here with Janae on the other side. So I'm like in between. I'm like left, right, because you know I was. It was a whole lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Kafa said, you know, yes, giving birth to Janae was, I guess using her words was kind of simple. I guess I don't know how simple it really was, but I can't relate to it. But it didn't seem like it was very labor intensive.
Neither one were.
But the having Janae born, and then she was jaundiced, so she was yellow and things like that. So they were concerned, her weight, you know, this, that, and the other. So it was kind of a lot going on. And then looking at Kafa, and then her face just didn't look right to me. So I was like back and forth, like, yo, what's going on? It's like too many people in here. You know, our parents were sitting outside, so I know they kept wanting to jump in the room like they playing double dutch and whatnot. So I'm trying to manage that. You know, it was a whole lot going on at one time. It really was. So I know we were not supposed to be talking about all this for this particular episode, you know, but
well, those two that you are speaking about,
right,
are present but not present right now as they're away in college.
Yes.
As we said, you know, the youngest 19 years ago jumped into Maurice's arms and, you know, was our bouncing baby boy, literally.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been great for us as a married couple to have both of our children away at college and growing mentally and growing in so many different ways, just with growing friendships and relationships and learning how to navigate working and attending class and all those other things. So that's just been a great learning experience for them. It's been another challenge for us and a learning experience for us to kind of let go and allow them to grow on their own a little bit, but still give them guidance, still give them the sense of security that we're here for them.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times hey, you can figure that answer out.
Right.
You know, those types of things. Like, we empower them to figure some things out on their own. But it's been a challenge. Not really a challenge, but it's just been eye-opening for us to have them not here.
Mm-hmm.
And be concerned with, you know, are they making the right friends? Are they making the right decisions? Are they being good people? overall. You know, just being good, decent people. You know, we've always had those conversations with them since elementary school.
Right.
That they are a reflection of us and our parenting. So if they go out and act crazy, people might see them acting crazy, but as our children, they're going to say, well, couldn't your parents teach you better?
Right.
Yeah. And so it's just been a lot of that reflection, a lot of that going back and forth with them of, you know, just do right. Do what you know to do.
And I would say that since they were in school, for the most part, they know what type of parents we were. And they would say, hey, you know, your parents, you know, your parents were not like that. You know, your parents were not like the way you're behaving, what you're saying, or things like that. And that's really more for the son than the daughter, per se. But I think both of them having it in their minds now, hey, you know, that's right, that's wrong, or whatever. I think they're testing the waters because they are young adults and their young adult friends are doing things that ultimately we wouldn't agree with. You know, but like you said, you know, we're just hoping that as they continue to mature, you have to go through your bumps in the road. You know, you have to be able to learn from your mistakes.
Right. And you have to be, you know, Maurice is always saying to me, like, we have to be honest and not hypocritical in how we parent them.
Right.
You know, the way we were raised is somewhat different than the way we are raising ours. And we don't want to be hypocritical, but I always follow up with, well, we learned from some of that. You know, that, hey, scolding your children until they're 18 with rods and belts and things like that sometimes doesn't change things. You know, it doesn't make the situation better. You know, is there a better way to deal with things? Because what are you training them to do? You know, so I know for us at an early age, we began just to talk to them, you know, share with them on our side of, hey, why we thought this thing was bad, you know, what the repercussions could be if they were older, you know, and we weren't their parents to kind of help them out if we didn't catch them and stop them, you know, those types of things. So, because that's what I think life is, you know, when you are an adult and you get caught doing something, you get talked, you know, someone talks to you. You may go on punishment depending on the degree of your infraction. You know, you go to jail or you serve time or whatever that might be. But even with that, it's still followed up with some type of counseling. You have a PO, you have to go through counseling, you have to go through some type of program.
Right.
So we implemented our own programs, you know, where you sat down and we had to talk about what did you do and why did you do that? What made you not think? Because obviously you weren't thinking, or if you were thinking, then what were you thinking the outcome was going to be? And then, you know, again, giving them real life situations of, hey, there's others out here that do this and this is what happens to them. And then, hey, when you're older and you do something that of that capacity, this is what could happen. And then reminding them that, hey, we saved you from this, and it's not always going to be the case. So,
and I say that a lot.
Yeah.
I say that a lot because in reality, now that they're older, and especially since our daughter is now 21, and I've been told on numerous occasions over the last year, she is an adult and there's nothing I could do about it. You know, so it's hard to help in certain situations, especially with them turning, or, you know, especially when the law sees them as adults at, you know, at a certain age, and you're like, well, they're not adults yet.
They're still my babies.
Right. You know, but the reality is law sees them as at a certain age. They have to be accountable for themselves. You know, so we as parents, are we really ready to deal with that? And in some ways, I know personally I was not. You know, I was like, no. We need to help out in whatever way we can.
Right.
But the key is as Kaf and I talk about a lot, have we done way too much where they can't speak up for themselves? You know, in certain cases, because they have been in certain situations where it's like, all right, well, now it's time for y'all to speak up and handle this stuff, and then it's like, okay,
what am I supposed to say and do?
Right,
Mm-hmm.
right.
And I think some of that, you know, again, as I said, you know, we have parented so differently than our parents did for us. We were very much hands-on. We were present in the school. We were present in PTA. We were present in neighborhood watch. We were, you name it, you know, wherever we could be, we were there. You know, the Boys and Girls Clubs, all of those things that our kids became a part of, or we became a part of, our kids became a part of it with us. Mm-hmm. So whenever someone saw Maurice, they saw the whole family. Mm-hmm. You know, whenever someone saw myself, they saw the whole family, or they expected the whole family. So if they saw just me, they're like, well, where everybody else at?
Right.
They coming? Like, where are they?
Right.
You know, so that's just how we operated. So they saw things, and we were able to see things for them and guard them and protect them. And as Maurice is saying, now it's not that to some degree. Mm-hmm. Now, all of you who know, my children go to a university that's local, and I work at that university. Mm-hmm. So I still can, when need be present. I try to separate myself. And I don't even say I try to. I just do what I do. I go there to go to work, you know. So I reach out to them just like I would have if they were 20, you know, hours away. Good morning. How y'all doing? Y'all need anything? You know, now, if y'all were 20 hours away, y'all need anything is a lot different. But if they said, hey, I need $10, I could certainly send it to them.
Right.
Versus me physically being there, I could say, okay, stop past the office and get your $10.
Or if they needed food is a lot different.
Right. Me sending a care package versus like, meet me at the car.
Right. You know, meet you at the car. Let's walk down the street to the market. Or whatever. You know, so one of the things that we were trying to get at with this particular episode is saying that the kids are grown/gone, but they really are not.
No. And I think, you know, even when 10 years from now, we're sitting here on this podcast talking about them being grown and away or grown and gone, I think because of the type of people we are, we will still be connected.
Mm-hmm, most definitely.
You know, so, and I think that's a blessing. And I think that's where you were coming from, Maurice. It's a blessing and a curse because we're not going to let go. That we will always be there. And the same thing, I think that is somewhat close to our parents. Like I can say my parent has always been there. Like if I could give them a call and say, hey, I need whatever, and they'll try to do what they can for us. And I think the same for your parents, that, you know, when we're in need, they're available.
So I just want to back up for a second. You said parent. I don't want to exclude, even though your father passed away 10 years ago, I don't want to exclude him. I
right. No, when he was here, both, all four of our parents were available, whether we just needed to be there for a moment, whether we needed $10, you know, they provided.
Right.
You know, even though we was fully grown, had our own houses, our own cars, we had our own family, you know, but they were still there.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that we're clear on that. Like I said, we don't want to exclude anyone. You know, he was very much present. To be honest, he was the first person that really showed me how to use not a chainsaw.
Power tool?
Power tool. What's the circular saw? You know, and he was like, listen, don't be afraid of it. Because if you're afraid, you're going to mess up. Mm-hmm. You know, and if you mess up, all you're going to do is just start all over again. Right. You know, so he broke it down in such a basic way.
Yeah, he was always that way. With me growing up, he was always like, you know, take it apart. You know, you can just pay attention and you can put it back together. If it doesn't, then you got to buy a new one. You know, and that came from me wanting to know how a clock worked. I was like, go ahead, take it apart. And I did. You know, the first time I think I struggled a little bit trying to get it back together, and then I just keep working on it. I was able to put it back together. You know, the same thing when it came to when computers came out. He was just like, open it up, see what it looks like.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know, so before you start moving pieces, but, you know, don't be afraid to open it up and look at it. I remember back in the day, tube TVs, you know, he would open that bad boy up. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I just got changed this tube. You know, I see it popped and whatever. So, because it was like a light bulb looking thing in there.
Okay.
So that's what it was. You know, that's how he always was. And likewise for your parents and, you know, my mother, like they're available.
Right. Right.
And I think we've taken that part from our parents and are doing that for our children as well. So likewise, you know, when they're 40, 50 years old, if they need something, you know, before they have to go out and ask a non-family member, someone that's not close to them, they will certainly be able to reach out to us. That's my thought. Yeah, you know, that's my opinion. They might think like, oh, no, I ain't talking to mommy or daddy about this. Like, you know, so.
But, you know, we already know that they will.
Yeah.
You know, we already know that they will. And we're appreciative of that. We just want to give them.
Sometimes I'm not, because some things I don't want to hear. Like.
No, you're right.
Some
moments.
of the stuff is like, what? Why do you feel the need to tell me this?
Right.
You know, but, you know, I'm grateful. I do try to listen and be attentive.
So our kids are not going.
They're not. They're ours.
They're kind of grown.
Kind of.
But they're not going.
No.
And as much as we would like to have a breather, we have a breather because they are not present in the house because they live on campus. You know, because I hear a lot of parents saying, oh, the kids are gone and now y'all are empty nesters. They're not going. They're not going. They're just not in our house. They're just on an extended slumber party.
Right.
That's all it is right now, just an extended slumber party.
And it's funny, you know, you have a lot of people, I guess, that say, oh, y'all empty nesters. I have a lot of people like, you know, they coming back, right?
Right.
Like after graduation, they're coming back. Like, don't think you could do anything with that room, you know, because they're coming back. So. And
I don't have any plans to do anything with their rooms. But, you know, actually, to be honest, you know, as much as I don't want to really say it out loud, but we are looking to relocate, right? And in that relocation, we are considering bigger rooms for our bigger kids.
Right.
It's like, you know, and then there's a part of me that's like, Marie, snap out of that, you know, but that's just the reality.
Right, right.
You know, and you know, you would think that, hey, we would be okay where we are now, but it's like, no, well, they have bigger stuff, and ultimately, even if they decide to go off and do their thing and whatever else, we're even anticipating for them to have kids and everything else, because that's what they would like.
Right.
Now, timing is one thing, you know, both of them talking about not having kids until they're in their 30s, you know, whatnot, but I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. So, you know, so like Kafa said, you know, I have a lot of friends that talk about, oh yeah, the kids are gone and things like that, and y'all empty nesters or whatever. They're not gone. I
do have one friend that says, oh, you're empty nesters, don't make any more babies. I said, lady, I'm so happy that they're grown and I don't have to change diapers. I don't have to go through all of those things. And I mean, the best birth control is walking up and down the baby aisles, because that stuff costs so much.
No, the best for me, the best baby or protection or whatever else is hearing the babies in the stores.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, cost is one thing, right? That's a part of life for me. But the whining and crying and, you know, and then my last point to that would be, when we're ready to get up and go out. Right. You know, we had talked about it not too long ago amongst ourselves. Just when we're ready to get up and go, we don't have to worry about a car seat. We don't have to worry about a baby bag. We don't have to worry about extra clothes. We don't have to worry about, whether the milk is hot, warm, cold, whatever, right?
Right.
We don't have to worry about whether or not they're drinking artificial milk or not, or what baby food they need, or a snack, or
It just goes on and on. Calm down, calm down.
whatever, a toy to keep them occupied,
yes.
an iPad, a phone, whatever it is. Okay, are y'all in the car seat? Are y'all cold? Are y'all hot? All right. Also, the other things I don't have to hear is, oh, Dad, look at that out there. All right, baby, we passed that 20 miles ago. I don't see it right now. And I have to pump fake and say, oh, yeah, I saw it, baby. Yeah, it was nice, right? So those are the things I have to deal with at this present time.
I wish I could say the same, but going back and forth to school as we were getting the kids onto campus, and we didn't get everything in one swoop, and we rode home, and we got stuck in traffic, because they go back to college like in August, and we got stuck like in shore traffic, and I don't know why. I went back to childhood, and I was just like, I spy with my little eye.
Oh, wow.
With a 21-year-old and an 18-year-old in the car. Oh, my gosh. It was the most hilarious thing because traffic was going so slow. They were like, Mom, there's nothing else to spy. Oh, my gosh.
And see, that's different because now they're adults. And so what you're looking at as an adult is vastly different than what you're looking at as a youngster.
Yes.
So just the little things amaze them. Right now, we're not amazed by it.
No, not at all.
So, or we're trying to get such a detail, it's like, well, where in the world is that?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Or they argue, I see something blue. That ain't blue.
I know, right? That's our son. That is our son. You have to be so exact.
Oh, goodness.
You have to say it's midnight blue with number 9 details, something like it'll have to be so exact. So I am blessed that I don't have to deal with that. Kafa does. I don't. So, meanwhile, if they do ride with me anywhere, we're on a mission. Whether it's to go buy clothes, furniture, food, something, it's something else. So we're on a mission. So we're talking about that or whatever. But we are not playing no games. I'm not playing no games.
Okay.
Now that would be funny though. But I haven't played any games in a while. Okay. At least not driving.
Driving games, yes.
And right now, I've been really happy that even if they are in the car and we're quiet, I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
Peace and quiet.
Peace and quiet, because you don't like the crying, whiny babies. Gotcha.
Right. Mm-hmm. So I thank y'all very much for listening to us rant. I'm sorry. Thank you for listening to me rant today. Kafa was telling stories. I'm ranting. You put me in a really precarious position today.
I did not.
You did. People going to think that I don't like my kids.
You love them. You said, a blessing and a curse. You the one that started it. So I just think they're blessings. My little blessings.
Right. All
They're
right.
not so little anymore because I am the shortest one in the house.
Most definitely. Not by a lot, but enough.
Even if I put on heels, I still think I'm be the shortest one.
Well, I mean, if Janae put on heels, yeah, you definitely still would be the shortest. If you put on heels though, no, I mean, no, you're not as tall as Janae in heels.
Right, I still would be shorter than her.
Right, yeah, you would be.
Dang.
Okay. Well, at least her kids ain't midgets.
I'm not a midget. Don't y'all get it twisted now. I'm not a midget. Despite what some of my little family members think, they refer me to the munchkins from the Wizard of Oz.
I know, right?
I'm not that short, y'all.
Yeah, so, but, thank y'all very much for listening to us today.
We love you.
And we'll talk to y'all later.
This week's episode has come to an end. But the fun doesn't have to stop here. If you have any questions, suggestions, or feedback, head over right now to Twitter and Facebook and like, share, and get involved. Join us next time.
all know a guy who only occasionally shaves for big occasions, and it's because that occasional shave really hurts. It's the time of year for big occasions, and yet there he is, suffering with that cheap drugstore razor. Let's help him out. Henson Shaving's line of razors, built with aerospace precision, deliver a smooth shave your dad, brother, and even son can enjoy, eventually. With replacement blades just 10 cents each, you'll buy it once and they'll use it for life. How's that for the perfect gift? Celebrate with 100 free blades on your first purchase, and no subscription headaches. HensonShaving.com/holiday.
With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.